Hi, Boy here. So Makerfire just sent me something in the mail. It is the Armor Blue Bee 2 FPV starter kit. Comes in at a price point of $110 and actually comes with everything you need, including the drone, controller, a video monitor, batteries, and associated parts. So what I'm going to try to look at in this video is see if this is a genuinely good FPV starter kit for someone, or maybe just more frustrating than what it's worth. Now, before we get into this video, I do want to tell you that this product was sent to me by Makerfire for free. Did not spend any of my own money on this product. They have had no input to anything I say, nor any type of creative control over this video. So that out of the way, let's get into it. Let's read some stats off the box. So the batteries it comes with are 1S 300 mAh, and it's pretty much what you would expect for a 65 millimeter quadcopter. The motors are Coreless Motor 716. I'm assuming that means they are brushed motors. The remote controller says closed source. That's not a surprise. The camera is a Makerfire AIO camera with VTX. So clearly the VTX is integrated with the camera itself. The VTX itself says it is 25 milliwatt, 40 channel, and this says it will give you around 100 meters distance of about 5 minutes of flight time. So there we go. Let's take a look at this.
Okay, so let's open this thing up and see what we got here. Some miscellaneous parts, a screwdriver and a little prop tool, a couple of batteries. Here's our drone. Let's see, we're gonna pop this camera into this mount. There we go. So, seems a little bit floppy. We'll take a look at that and see how we're doing here. All right, so there's our drone. Let's get our controller, an FPV antenna. This looks like it. There's the screen, the clip. Looks like that. We clipped the screen here. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We've got the FPV antenna. Some cables, looks like some AV cables, a USB cable for charging the screen. You can see what's in here in this parts bag. There's a black canopy. That's a USB for charging the batteries. A black camera cover that snaps on just like the other guy there. 4 black props and stick ends. Okay, so I'm a thumber. I'll go ahead and throw those on there. Or if you're a pincher, you may not like those. A pincher typically is going to want to manipulate the controls like this. Me as a thumber, since I like to put my thumbs down on the sticks, looks like these are made exactly for that purpose. Now I notice that the throttle is auto centering. I'm assuming therefore this must have some type of altitude hold. There we go. There is our complete kit. Hi, Boy from the future here. Listen, I forgot to cover this remote controller real quick, so I wanted to make sure that I did that with you here. As I indicated before, this throttle is auto-centering. Now, Makerfire has indicated with the updated flight controller they have put in this drone that the auto-centering works really well with the built-in altitude and position hold, and we'll actually see how well that works on the flight video. This button here in the rear does 2 different things. If you just simply click it, it'll beep 1, 2, or 3 times after clicking, indicating whether you are in low, medium, or high speed. The higher the speed, the quicker the drone will move, of course, the more it will pitch. If you press and hold this button, that actually is supposed to execute a return to home maneuver. So that'll be real interesting to check that out. The buttons next to here, they do look like trim switches, but they are not. So this top button is basically a disarm. It's an emergency disarm. If you run into problems, you hit that button, the drone disarms, falls out of the air, whatever's going on. The button underneath it is actually used for arming and for arming the drone. So when you click that, The motor spin up, the drone comes up to a hover. Then after that, you will probably use these trim switches on the right stick. These are actual trim switches. So as the drone's hovering, of course, you will then be able to use these switches to either make the drone favor left, right, forward, backwards, until you are in a nice stationary flight without touching any of the sticks. And then finally, this button here will let you execute 360-degree maneuvers. So now let's go ahead and take a look at some flight footage. We're doing this from the little controller. Now, I do warn everybody, I'm a little blind, and there's probably going to be a dog chasing us around a little bit, but that's all right. He loves this stuff. Oh, that's a little better. Oh, you can even see the props in view this time. Okay, let's see how we do now. Oh, well. It is a little hard to get used to the resolution on this thing. Oh. There's dog. Okay, and of course I'm kind of blind, so here we go. But that's all right. There we are. Giving it the beans a little bit. All right, it's not doing too bad indoor. Usually you have a lot of multipathing issues in a house, and actually this seems to be doing pretty darn good. Excuse my laundry mess there. Okay. We'll go this way. There's the dog. Okay, not in the chandelier. Okay, yeah, the throttle management's a little bit difficult, but so that's going to take a beginner pilot some getting used to. Whoops, as we see there. Uh-oh. All right, but yeah, so now we are in a situation where unfortunately the up tilt has been affected because I think I crashed into the ceiling, but that's all right. We'll come over here and we'll push the gentle land button, and there we go. Okay, so we're going to try outdoor flight. It is a little breezy, but not too bad. So we're going to give this thing a shot out here. I am actually going to go ahead and fly this with my regular FPV goggles. Since this does use a standard analog VTX, I'm good to go. So let's go ahead and we will plug this guy in. We push up and then down, and now we're synced. And now we push the bottom button to arm and take off. Maybe. Oh, it's the top button. All right, a little bit of fun there. Okay, so the altitude hold in. It's a little iffy, but here we go. We got it. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to push the button so I can get a little bit better speed out of. There we go. Now we're going. Flying out a little bit. Oh, wow. Ooh, it's definitely got some pep on the yaw. That's for sure. All right, so here we go. We are flying. Okay, I'm going to go down a little bit. I'm not used to flying these types of auto-leveling drones, so it takes me a little bit to remember. I have this natural tendency to push my throttle up when I start pitching forward, which is not necessary, I guess, on this thing, but okay, here we go. We're flying around the yard. Actually, I have to say, there is a light breeze, but this thing is definitely handling, it's definitely keeping its own. Going out here a ways. Let's see, there we go. Oh, I might have, okay, I think I just reached the limit. I sure did. I have reached the limit of, okay, there we go. So let's bring it back home. So yeah, right there, I did lose control and it looked like it was just hovering. So I was kind of hoping it would do a return to home maneuver, but I guess not. And that's all right. Now, speaking of which, where I am now, if I hold this, it's supposed to do a return to home maneuver. Let's see what happens. Is it returning to home? It looks a lot like it's about to go into a tree. Okay, I'm going to override that. I guess that is... And there might, in all fairness, there's probably a bit of wind up there that we're dealing with. There we go. Let me get down a little bit more into the... Let's see, I'll push the throttle stick down some so that there we go. Oops, that looks like, yep, I hit the fence. And it looks like I have run this battery out. By the way, this drone does have a feature, and actually maybe that's what happened, is that when the battery is down, it will actually auto land. Same thing when you use the arm button to take off. If you push that button again, it will basically hover slowly down to the ground, auto land, and then disarm. So this protection feature on the battery is actually kind of nice because it does drain the battery till it gets to right around 3.7. And then when it recovers, it basically is at 3.8, which is storage voltage, which is exactly what you want for your LiPo cell. So that's actually really nice for a new pilot to not really have to worry too much about the battery management. Okay, I've calibrated again, push up, push down. Let's make sure I've got good video. Yep, now we're going to push the button to take off. There we go. Okay, I'm outside, so I am going to go ahead and there we go. We're going to do that to the third beep. Looks like my neighbor is over there mowing their lawn. By the way, so I am standing opposite of the where I'm facing, so you can see I'm having a little bit of control issues. It looks like I got too many objects behind, so let's fly back over this way. I mean, all in all, it's not doing too bad. Go here. Okay. There we are. Turn back around. Let's see. Oh, we're headed for a tree. Let's not do that. Now we're headed for my car. Okay, one other thing I've definitely noticed about flying this is this, unlike my normal TX16S, my Radio Master controller, is that this is more like, it feels more and acts more like an Xbox controller. In other words, as far as resolution's concerned, it's just not there. This really has more of a resolution that resembles an Xbox controller than it does a standard controller that we like to use, like one of the Radio Master TX16S or other thing like that. One of the things that we as FPV pilots really enjoy is the fact there's a lot of resolution on this. This, you don't really seem to find any action on the sticks until you're halfway deflected, which can be another thing that's really distractive. The other thing that I've noticed too is that the altitude hold is not perfect. So it does seem to vary a little bit. Maybe the internal barometer is struggling a little bit. After a minute, it's okay. I will mention last time that you like this floppiness here on the camera. That also gets a little bit distracting. I noticed that it was flopped up a little bit higher than the drone would pitch forward, and so it looked like I was actually standing still when in fact I was actually coming this direction. Maybe we'll see that in some of the flight footage. We'll find out what happens when I cut all this stuff together. So I will say, this guy at $110, the price itself makes it rather compelling, for the fact that you get a complete drone with additional spare parts, canopies, props, these types of consumable items we are used to having to replace frequently on our tiny whoops, as well as the fact that it does come with the remote and little tiny FPV screen. Since it does use a standard 5.8 gigahertz, of course, you can use your own set of goggles, as I did in a few of the flights I recorded, only because, gosh darn it, I am so blind that it's much nicer for me to have goggles to view. You might have noticed on some of the DVR, the image is not the greatest of quality. One, of course, it is an analog, it's not digital. And I did notice that the camera was a little blurry. I'm guessing that that's probably just resolution. Again, $110 buys you not a whole lot, and that's not bad for everything you get here. The thing actually, and I will show you probably as I'm talking through this, it's actually able to recover pretty nicely against hitting objects and walls. That's something that we struggle with a lot on our tiny whoops, and this thing did handle it pretty good. The battery management itself, I do like the fact that when the battery gets low enough, the drone will auto land. That's your signal to unplug, change batteries. And the nice thing is that when the battery is discharged to the point that the drone automatically lands, the battery ends up leveling off at 3.8 volts, which is exactly the voltage you want to store your batteries at. The USB charger cable, it does charge the batteries up to 4.35, which is the high volt area, which is great. So a couple other things that I want to talk about, and you'll see that in some of the flight videos, and I might post examples here. This floppy camera, really, you need to do something about this. I would, again, recommend maybe jamming something, a piece of paper or something under here to make it stiffer. You might even to get a little bit of rubber cement or something to just kind of hold it in place. There's a number of creative fixes you can do on this in order to fix the camera angle. The return to home function didn't really work for me. I'm not surprised. The altitude hold features on this also are a little bit iffy, but they're actually really good. Again, for something this cheap, I'm amazed that it works at all. The last thing is that I did try some of the 3D maneuvers because I wanted to go ahead and get those on record. And unfortunately, each time I executed one, the minute I went to fly home or turn another direction, it was as if the drone itself had sort of lost its mind, and the orientation of the drone actually didn't change with the stick movement. So in other words, if I did a roll flip and I was facing this way, and everything would work normally, but the minute I would yaw or turn around 180 degrees, if I pitched forward, it would go back. Or if I did 90 degrees, if I pitched forward, it would roll right. So after doing a 3D maneuver, the flight controller sort of kind of got locked in and was clearly using the accelerometer to then readjust its attitude and then would not respond to the sticks in a predictable manner. So I ended up having to fish it out of a tree because I quickly found it fairly unflyable, trying to guess what direction the stick needed to be pointed to in order to tilt it the right way. And so the question that we ask now, who is this for? Well, the best way I could probably answer that is that for the kid who wants to get into RC cars, for instance, you're probably not going to go out there and buy him a big old $1,000 Traxxas and a nice remote and all that. You're probably going to get him one of those old, takes a couple of C batteries and a little cheapy remote. He's going to drive it around and basically kind of goes forward, back, right. It's nothing that you can customize. And this thing, I would really consider it in that same category. Is this something that will get people into FPV? Probably. After all, that cheap remote control car that you got at the mall probably is what you got you into doing the bigger things and getting into like a Traxxas or something of that nature. Is this a good drone to learn how to fly FPV? And I'm going to have to, at least for that, say no. With the resolution of the controller, with the fact that it's a little bit unpredictable, and the other thing is that I, being an FPV pilot, found myself doing a lot of the habits that were muscle memory. I ended up climbing to the moon as I was trying to move around. Should you get this for yourself? If you're already doing FPV, I probably wouldn't recommend it. But if you have a kid or some other person that is interested in just getting a little bit of the FPV experience, but they don't want to invest the what, $200 to $500 to $700 sometimes it takes to get into this hobby, absolutely, I would get this for them. Just with one caveat. Remember that the muscle memory and things you learn flying this are not going to translate to a standard FPV drone. This, I will consider it as an ambassador to the hobby. It's something, it's cheap, it's something somebody can get that has all the parts. You don't have to really think about it too much. Just plug it in, arm it, fly it around, and have a good time. Now, if you decide you want to pick this up, look down in the bottom of the description. I do have a link to this product. That is an affiliate link. So if you do click that and make any number of purchases, whether it's this or any other purchase from Makerfire, I will get a little bit of a commission for that sale. But it doesn't cost you anything, but it does help support the things I do on this channel, as well as the other activities I do in supporting and helping other FPV pilots. I hope you found this video informative. And if you want to see more of these, of course, I also encourage you, like everyone else does, to click like and subscribe, and I will be coming out with more product reviews of things soon. Until then, check out one of these other videos, some other thing that it's probably telling you might want to watch. Believe me, you want to watch that video. And I'll see you in the next one.